The galaxy's richest and most dangerous worlds called humanity, not as conquerors, not as diplomats, but as security. They didn't know what they were hiring: discipline, cunning, and a force that refused to back down. When treaties failed, when threats rose, humans didn't just keep the peace, they rewrote the rules. Every world learned quickly: the ones who protect aren't always the ones who follow. The council chamber floated above the orbital ring of Shara Prime, its walls shimmering with holographic star charts, glowing with every world under the Galactic Concord's protection. Delegates of dozens of species sat in perfect lines, their forms alien, monstrous, elegant, and terrifying, but all turned toward the arrival of the human contingent. For most, humans were curious oddities, bipedal, soft-skinned, seemingly fragile. They had no fleets that could match the giants, no weapons that could pierce the reinforced cruisers of the Thalar hegemony, no psychic shields or cloaked assassins. But humans had something no one else did: resolve. Lieutenant Commander Elena Voss stepped onto the chamber floor, boots clicking against the crystalline platform. She carried no ceremonial weapon, no insignia of rank beyond the folded badge on her chest, but every delegate immediately felt it. A presence, the kind that demanded attention without a single word. Behind her, 2 human officers followed, their eyes sharp, their posture calm, unyielding. The human envoy had arrived. The council murmur shifted. Alien tongues whispered, some with fear, some with curiosity. The syndicate ambassador hissed in disbelief. They bring no fleet? Voss smiled faintly, tilting her head. We didn't need one. The meeting began. Initial talks were smooth. Agreements signed on trade, patrols, and protective oversight. But as the sun set over Shara Prime, the whispers returned. Delegates doubted humanity's capacity, not for diplomacy, but for enforcement. What happened when the hegemony refused to comply? When pirate clans ignored treaties and slaughtered worlds in the void? The answer came faster than any could imagine. 2 days later, the Thalar hegemony's blockade of Narration V broke the calm. Civilian freighters were being torn apart, their crews screaming into the void. The humans' response was not brute force, but precision. Elena Voss led a strike team aboard the human escort carrier Resolute, a ship smaller than most capital ships, but faster than anything in the sector. Sensors picked out the blockade: 20 heavily armed warships, shields glowing with power siphoned from nearby moons. Most species would have fled. Most would have negotiated. Humans did neither. Form up, Voss ordered, voice calm, almost casual over the comms. We engage on my mark. Her crew moved as one. Fighters launched in perfect arcs, drawing the enemy's attention, baiting fire into pre-calculated zones. Plasma torpedoes struck with terrifying accuracy, taking out energy siphons without harming civilian freighters. Voss's team boarded the Central Command vessel in 0G, silent and deadly. Her officers floated beside her, knives, sidearms, and grappling hooks in hand, not as marauders but as enforcers. The alien captain of the blockade laughed, seeing only a small contingent of humans floating unprotected in space. Do you think these fragile beings can challenge us? Voss's reply was a single, unflinching step forward. We don't think. We act. They moved with precision born of years of training in the harshest conditions: asteroid belts, rogue planets, war-torn colonies. Every move neutralized threats without collateral damage. The blockade shattered in hours. No freighter was lost. No civilian harmed. By the time the alien captain realized the humans were inside his ship, his control room was empty. The humans had disabled his systems, taken control, and left him alive only to witness the evacuation of the freighters. When the ship docked back at Narration V, the council delegates watched with wide eyes. Humans didn't merely deliver peace, they delivered terms. The hegemony would pay reparations, dismantle illegal patrols, and allow human oversight on disputed trade routes. Every world learned: when humans enforce, the galaxy listens. But the humans didn't linger to celebrate. The Resolute and its escort fleet vanished into the void before the first champagne bottles could pop. Their presence was a promise, not a show. 3 weeks later, pirates attacked the rim world of Turixis. Human engineers had secretly mapped hidden defense stations, placing automated turrets and drones that would only activate in emergencies. When the pirates struck, entire fleets found themselves trapped in a net of precision fire, guided by humans from unseen command posts. Not a single human vessel was in danger, but the message was clear: trespass against those under human protection came with consequences. By the end of the year, every disputed sector, every contested trade route, Every planet vulnerable to conquest had been touched by the human hand, not in fear, not in domination, but in enforcement. They weren't conquerors, they were guardians. And yet, where humans were present, no treaties were broken, no freighter lost, no life unnecessarily taken. Back aboard the Resolute, Elena Voss watched the holographic map flicker with hundreds of green dots, freighters safe, pirate nests dismantled, fleets rerouted. Her officers moved silently, tending to their stations, calibrating sensors, updating strategy protocols. Voss leaned back in her chair, her long dark hair falling over her shoulder, eyes reflecting the starlight outside the viewport. For a moment, she allowed herself a smile. "They underestimated us," said Lieutenant Kor, his voice calm but proud. "Again." Voss nodded. "And they'll keep underestimating. Until they learn. Until every world knows the cost of ignoring humans." The galaxy was vast, full of empires, syndicates, and threats too numerous to count. Yet humanity had carved its place not by fleets of unimaginable size, not by psychic dominance or secret weapons, but through skill, strategy, and a relentless commitment to justice and protection. Every world that called them for security learned two things. Peace could be achieved, and humans didn't just enforce it, they defined the rules. And somewhere deep in the void, among the stars, the humans moved on, ready for the next call, the next whisper, the next crisis. They carried not weapons alone, but wisdom, courage, and the certainty that if they were hired, peace would come and terms would follow.